both of us, we've done 2 levels. We're on 2 paths.
Yeah.
Okay.
And currently, we got through levels 1, 2, and 3
Yeah, that's
pretty
pretty easy.
easily. But we've got what's our problem, Paul?
Well, level 4 and 5 are really difficult projects. This podcast is a level 4 project that's been going for like 10 months now.
It's been going much longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, we thought it'd be done by June. We're already in like in October. It's still going. Pathways in Toastmasters. Sometimes we all get lost on pathways, which is an irony, right? Because pathways, we should know the way. Well, today on this story, we are very fortunate to have a pathways expert to come and help us show the way. So stay tuned. She'll be on after the intro.
Welcome to The Story, TGIF and Born to Shine. I'm your host, Joe.
And I'm Paul, and we are from Born to Shine and TGIF, and I'm very excited about today, Joe.
That's right. Today, we have a very special guest. We have the Pathways Chair, Patsy.
Yay!
Hey! Patsy, welcome to The Story.
Yes, welcome. We're really happy to have you with us today.
Oh, I'm so delighted to be here. As a matter of fact, overwhelmed a little bit because I'm representing pathways.
And
Yeah.
for those of you,
Right.
this is a video and an audio. I
Yes.
know you're a new guest for us.
Yes.
Yes,
And so for those of you who are just listening on Spotify,
yes,
Patsy has the District 67 Pathways Pioneer shirt.
yes.
And wonderful look. Perfect for a Pathways chair.
Sure.
Now, we always ask the same question to start everybody off, which is, how did you learn about Toastmasters?
All right. That is a very interesting question, as a matter of fact, Joe, because I'm traveling between Taiwan and Canada. Actually, I live in Canada. The reason back to Taiwan because my mom, who has the dementia, Alzheimer, for 7 years already.
Oh, I'm sorry
so
to hear that.
so ever since like 7 years, I'm just traveling back, live with her for like 3 months here
Wow.
and 3 months in Calgary. And at the time when I stay with my mom, like now, she is almost 100 years
Wow.
old. She doesn't
Wait, whoa, wow.
Yeah, that's
no.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah, last year, as a matter of fact, 2 years ago, I had a contest speech. My first statement was, my mother is 97 years old. and the audience say, oh, so, well, they're probably thinking how old I am.
So what
Yeah.
brought you into Toastmasters?
Yeah. Okay. Because of that, I think I should spend more time with her. But because she's old, so she doesn't have a mobility.
Sure.
So during the day, I just be with her.
Yeah.
And during the night, I'm with her as well.
I see.
So then I think I have to really learn more English. Okay, that's the English in order to keep up my learning. Otherwise, every time we go back to Calgary and the family,
I see.
I communicated speak English and I have a problem. So that is why 4 years ago, I asked my brother, so do you know anywhere I can really polish my skills? And one of the fellow is senior member, Henry Chan.
Oh, Henry Chen, okay.
Yeah, Henry Chan was my brother's old-time schoolmate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how my brother introduced me to Henry. That's how I started.
Okay. And before you joined Toastmasters, you were okay with public speaking?
I actually wasn't that comfortable with. As a matter of fact, my first time meeting, I have no idea, all right? And I was invited in the table topic.
Your first meeting?
The first meeting 4 years ago.
Wow.
4 years ago, I was
Yeah.
a guest. I was invited as to speak in the table topic. I remember the table topic was integrity.
Oh.
And I stood up and everybody say only eight people in that club. So members say, "Go to the stage, go straight." What am I doing here? But I did it. I did not really feel comfortable with because I have no idea about integrity. Even I work in the industry for years. Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
No, I wasn't really comfortable with the public speaking in front of the people who are I don't know well.
Sure.
But I used to be a hotel trainer. And that was because I was a trainer for Taipei Jinhua 酒店, Grand Formosa region Taipei, as well as Sheraton Taipei.
Okay.
Taipei 喜来登大饭店. These are two hotels. My background was actually hotel training, but before that, that was long way to go becoming a facilitator.
Now,
Okay.
I want to ask,
Yeah.
4 years ago, what club was that?
Yes.
And it changed to different name now. Now it's called Finnish Bilingual. It's a Taiwanese English.
It's Taiwanese English. I've been in that one.
Which one is that?
It's Phoenix.
Oh,
and-
Phoenix.
Yeah, Taipei
Yeah,
Phoenix.
Taipei Phoenix.
Phoenix, exactly.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn Daigi, and so I've been
Daigi.
listening.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Wow.
What club are you a member of now?
It's hard to say. Okay.
How many clubs?
What's the number?
Okay. 6 clubs in 3 different countries.
Oh.
3 different countries.
6 clubs in 3 countries.
Yeah. Yes. 6
Okay.
clubs in 3 countries.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're really excited to have you, and you've made tremendous progress in the 4 years in Toastmasters because you joined 4 years ago, and yet you are now the District 67 Pathways Ambassador. Tell us a little bit about how you were selected as the District 67 Pathways Ambassador.
How I was selected?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like how did you get
How
that
did you
position?
become
Yeah,
chair?
yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting question. As a matter of fact, I have no idea. That was because last year I served as a co-chair.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, and Yulin asked me, she was a chair, she asked me, and end of the term, will you be interested in serving as a co-chair? You know, I don't have any hesitation because it is an education system.
okay.
And I knew something is coming up for a major change, which we have been waiting for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
sure.
pathway change. I said, well, why don't I just step in because I believe I can do it. Yep.
And so as the Pathways Ambassador, we do have a lot of people like me that grew up in Toastmasters because I've been Toastmaster 11 years. We grew up in Toastmasters on the old competent communicator, advanced manual track with competent leadership. And we have like some people in our clubs and even the broader Toastmasters community. If you go on the Toastmasters International Facebook group, they're like, oh, we miss competent communicator, we miss competent leadership. So I was just saying, I just want to know from you,
Yeah.
what are in your view, what are the benefits of Pathways? As a Pathways ambassador, what do you think are the benefits of Pathways and why should we just fully embrace it?
I have 35 hotel training experiences from HR. If today I have to say something about the benefit of the pathway, say youngsters must start with this learning system because starting from the communication to the leadership, whatever that's learning, definitely will enlighten someone's career. If I had this opportunity 30 years ago, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be retired just as a training manager, probably CEO, because
Right.
it's remarkable steps for every individual they have to take. And if it's consistent enough, definitely, especially, communication to the leadership, there were so many things to learn from. I am so amazed with that.
So I find you use the word consistent enough.
Yeah. yeah.
What is consistent enough?
People will give up because they find, well, it's not for them, right? And people probably will give up because they don't think that's easy for them. I believe a lot of people just like me. 4 years ago, when I just joined the Toastmaster, for the 6 months, the first 6 months, I have to learn the new system. I have no idea what the old system was. But
Sure.
when I look at it wasn't really user friendly. I told my mentor many times, this one is not
We silently agree.
We're nodding. This is we felt the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
But please continue. Yeah,
The changes will be undergoing. Yeah, that's right.
But I find you say consistent enough. So by consistent enough, you mean not giving up too quickly, learning the system, taking control of the system. Because in the old system, and I've said this on so many podcasts now, and I'll repeat it to you because I don't know if you've seen them, but under the old system, we would like say to our members, finish your CC within 1 year, finish your 10 speeches in 1 year. You know, for me, consistency was at least one speech a month with one evaluation a month or one other role like TME, GE or some other role a month. When, you know, for me on the old system, I understood that to be consistency. For the pathway system, what would you consider to be consistency? Like finishing one level every 3 months or finishing 10 speeches in a year?
Right. Like, what kind of goal do you set
Yeah,
somebody who's a brand new Toastmaster? You know, what should they be doing within 1 year?
Within 1 year, yeah.
Okay, I can only speak for my own experience.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a kind of weird case. My home club is kind of small. As a matter of fact, I had a coach. Then you know it's only A or members. Unlike TGIF or Born to Shine. So every time the VPE schedule me a speech, okay? Yeah, so in the first 6 months, I did not really like the pathways. But until senior, it's called DTM, Ju Wei, he kept thinking, now Ju Wei is almost 80 years old. He knew this system, base camp system.
Wow.
Kind of very well. He inspired me. Ju Wei, you can do it. Why shouldn't I? And, I kept doing. Then I found out actually I have already completed today 3 paths.
What?
Yeah, I'm still on another 3.
I transitioned onto pathways in 2017, Joe, and because I'm a dual member in Born to Shine and TGIF, they gave us 2 paths for free. I think I'm not past level 4 on any one of those 2 paths in 7 years, and you already did 3 paths in 4.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Well, actually, I cheat on something.
No,
I'm sorry.
Integrity.
That's right.
No cheat. Just found ways to manage the system.
Please forgive me.
So how long did it take you, since we're on this kind of question,
sure.
How long did it take you to complete your first path?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking. I'm proud. Actually, lesser than a year. I believe
What?
It's a year. I already, level
1 year?
Level 5.
That's impressive.
Yep.
I'm embarrassed.
I need to work harder.
Thank you for coming and embarrassing us.
That's the thing. She's Pathways chair.
I know.
She's here to make sure we're on track.
So why is she sitting on the sofa?
That's amazing though. And so I kind of want to shift into this.
Sure.
Specifically, like, why should we encourage members to really engage with Pathways? Like, I've had some members. I'm a VPE now. And so
very good VP, by the way.
For those of you who have been watching the story, I did end up becoming VP.
He did.
I don't know how Paul convinced me, but it happened. But I have some people who, they have trouble really getting into Pathways and being excited about it. So what is there in Pathways specifically that we can use to encourage members to actually do the projects and read the projects and be excited about it?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. Usually, as a VPE, I used to be a VP for 18 months. I was the one greet the new member and had this new member to join a training online, the Zoom meeting. That starting from the choose your path. Right. So that was a great opportunity get to know the new member, your background, why, what do you think that the the path, which path will be most suitable. If that is a sales, so choose persuasive influence or whatever. Some people say, I would like to try engaging humor. So, well, that's fine. Well, do the self-assessment if you are interested. So usually the VPE is the first person to contact the new member and to persuade, to influence, to add those values to those pathway learning. Let me add one thing. Okay, just let me add.
You could add 2 or 3.
Okay. Because it's regarding for 1 year. For 1 year now, I've been asking some past international president about how much they spend on the education system. None of them really give me a particular answer. Okay.
Wow.
Then I had to search on TI website about the financial, and I learned before COVID, every year education material. TI spent almost 7 or 8 million, right? But during the COVID year, it's 3 million. It's education material, probably context, everything included, but it's not specifically saying pathway. Even 2023, there was a 2.7 million. I'm talking about US dollars,
not
a
Taipei.
year. Not Taipei. Taipei is 8,800 won.
Wow.
That's how I inspire my new member.
Wait.
You say you pay 60, you only pay $60 as for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
And think about how much US dollar we really spend on the entire, the pathway project. You're actually you're getting a lot of benefits. The pathway is cheap. I can't say cheap, but it's so much value.
It's got value.
That's
value.
right.
But that's the thing, because you've kind of answered the next couple of questions we're going to ask anyway.
Yes, he's good.
You kind of anticipated all the next 3 questions. But that's the question, really, how do we sell the value to them? You have on the one side, you can look at the cost benefit analysis. You can say, okay, well, Toastmasters International spends $3 million a year on it, right? You pay $60 a year. You pay $120 a year, right?
Yeah.
You can do a cost benefit analysis, but beyond that, people come in, they spend the money, they get on the system, as you yourself said, then they get on that system, they feel overwhelmed by it. How do we say, okay, you're feeling overwhelmed by that system, but there's real benefit to that system? What is the other value proposition that you actually sell to them? If you were you're like a hotel trainer and you want your 25 staff to get on pathways to teach them communication skills, and you want to go to your CEO and say, okay, aside from the cost, how are you going to sell your CEO on buying pathways for your staff that you're training?
That is a very good question, Paul, because I'm talking about the pathways are 2 different, different learning. One is the communication, one is the leadership. Communication is starting from icebreaker, vocal variety, body languages. Can you imagine if you want to sell to your client something, okay, you have to do presentation. You go like monotone, don. Your client is going to sleep, right? Because it's so boring after 10 minutes. But in our pathway, even starting from those level 1, and we start to learn the vocal variety sometimes. And the body language to just do those points. So that make your presentation more easier, more persuasive, so more interesting. So does that really add the value to the work?
Just so I'm not trying to be contentious here, but just to give you some scope of the previous system, because you went on it. But the previous system also had all that. The previous system, we had icebreaker, organize your speech, write a speech with purpose, how do you say it, rhetorical devices, and the 5th speech was body language.
Body
the
language.
The 6th one was vocal variety. The 7th was research your project. The 7th was using visual aids. The 8th was motivational speaking. The ninth was motivational speech, and the 10th was inspirational speech. So the whole old system all had that. So what I'm just saying is like, how do we, people like me and Joe who grew up on the old system, like what is the value of, so for myself, like Joe and I, we would not have this podcast without pathways.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't on the old system. But I'm just saying, like for you, like what is the overall value of pathways that we can actually sell to people, like beyond just the basic communication stuff of it? Like what are the core lessons they can learn and apply in life?
I know.
It's a tough question. I know.
It's a tough question.
Because I was in the old system.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I kick in with started with the new system, but what I learned, what I know, probably is different because old system is all Bible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Bible.
I love you call it
Bible.
the Bible. She knows she's with a bunch of Christians.
Yeah, there you go.
Manual. I believe a manual did not have video learning.
No, it didn't.
No.
Okay. And assessment, I'm not sure
No,
whether
no assessment.
All right. And there is a lot of navigation and explain things, doing assessment, self-assessment, everything. Those are probably our added value than old system. I did not. I wasn't the old system at all.
Spoken like a Pathways chair.
Sure,
She's like,
absolutely.
let me tell you, I don't know about the old, but the new has these features.
I tell you one thing that I tell you one thing as you've said to me is like really inspiring me is that I know Jude Way. I've met him a few times, and he's like nearly 80 and figured it out. What's wrong with us? If he can do it, we can, Joe.
It's really inspiring because honestly,
it is. Yeah,
you know, as even I'm an area director and VP, and sometimes I have older members, more senior members who still they haven't quite gotten in to Pathways, and so I think hearing this is good. And it's just, I guess, as VPE, if you were to speak to me as VPE,
yes.
Do I just need to show those members, those videos, those assessments? Because I don't know about Paul, but when I first started using Pathways, I would skip things.
Yeah,
I would skip the videos.
I do too.
So I'm realizing I skipped and then didn't see the value. So as a VPE, what should I do to get my members to be like, Pathways is amazing?
Yeah.
What do I do as VPE?
Okay, thank you for bringing this one.
Sorry for not asking questions on the list.
Which kind of answered all the questions on the list.
No, because it's wonderful. Because I put a lot of respect on VP. I know probably even greater than those club presidents.
I would never say that.
I agree.
Yeah, they put a lot of efforts.
They do.
Yeah, and for VP, what you have to do, I would suggest you really have to go through the system and learn, all right? And after you learn, that you have to, you could just host those workshop.
Oh.
A little workshop. Just share your training, share your learning, even encourage your members to do their own sharings. You know, probably once a month or twice a month. Or
I like that idea.
Yeah. So that brings the awareness of learning.
I like what you mentioned here with awareness because I realized some of the problem is, so TGIF, we're very focused, and Born to Shine. Yeah. I'm sorry, Born to Shine. I'm not leaving you out here.
Yeah.
But we're so focused on getting on the stage and presenting well that as VP, sometimes I can forget I need to spend time building awareness of what's actually inside Pathways. I like your workshop idea.
Yeah.
For myself, when I'm saying these things, like I think there's a lot of value in Pathways. I think that, as I said, we would not have this podcast without Pathways.
Absolutely.
So I do believe that there's a lot of value in the system. I think that the new projects have made the educational system more relevant to the life that we live now. I mean, you were mentioning earlier before we started recording about the social media project.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and you're talking about like video. So there's genuine value in it.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you know, but it's just like for us older holder-outs. We just like turn our minds around, you know.
Yeah, I'd like to ask, okay, because then this is something always I have a question about it. And for one module, one project, how much does that cost? It really how much would that cost for someone to write one projects?
Yeah, no. So honestly, for me, it's not
Yeah.
the cost issue. Like, I understand to do the project would be very expensive, and I truly believe like actually what we get out of Pathways is very cheap.
Yeah.
My problem with the system is it's very user unfriendly.
Right, like
Okay.
clicking through.
Like for
is
me,
hard.
when you tell me like every year they spend $3 million on the Pathways, and I'm not challenging on this because I know you have no control over this.
No.
But for myself, when it comes to Pathways, like I counted once, and I think like we counted that to get to the evaluation form, we need to do 9 clicks. On like we have to log into the website,
click.
then go to
Yeah.
Basecamp, then click your path. I got 2 paths, then you got to go there, and then you finally land up on your evaluation sheet. For us, it's not so much about we don't see the value, we don't understand that actually is fantastic value for money. For us, it's just like I don't have so much time. And then one thing that I found for me is that I thought I was like on level 1 for a project because I thought everything from Pathways
Oh,
would go
this.
would go onto the main website, but they don't talk to each other on the websites. So it's that kind of thing that we recognize it's a very good value for money educational program. Our thing is if you're spending $3 million a year, and once again, this is not on you. You know, Daniel Rex, is it you? Yeah, you're the CEO.
Oh,
Hope
my
you're listening
goodness.
here. It's actually like take the $3 million, spend $100K, hire a user interface designer, and just design the interface properly. That would, and hopefully, like they're making some changes now.
Yep.
Hopefully, that will actually be a part of it.
Sure. Let me clarify. 2.7 million US dollars spent on the education material does
Sure.
not mean only for pathway
Ah,
stuff, right?
okay.
Yeah, so because I know TI said it is a secret about that expense. They wouldn't
Well,
tell
anyway.
me. I'm just have to do my own research on those
Fair enough,
financial reports. This is first. I'd like to clarify. The second is good news is coming up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, it will be a simple, easier for the navigation,
That's good, yeah.
everything. It's the interface will be easier. That's what I heard, and that was promoted by TI. Then you can search. Actually, you can learn anywhere, anytime on your mobile when you sit on the C train.
That's
or-
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. That,
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
exactly.
This has been a fantastic half an hour. We're going to take a short 10-minute break,
All right.
and we'll get back to you after the break.
Yep.
Sure.
In this episode, we've been digging deep into what's Pathways and how we can learn and grow from it. I want to tell you all about how TGIF and Born to Shine, our YouTube channel, which has loads of wonderful videos, but there's something specific. We have a playlist that's focused on workshops. Lots of great content for you to learn from some of our members, and we encourage you to check those out. At the end of November, November 29th, Lester Lin, a legendary evaluator, is going to be giving a workshop on evaluations. This is going to be an amazing event. If you're in Taipei, come. If you're in Kaohsiung, come. If you're in Japan, come. We recommend everyone come and check this out at TGIF and Born to Shine. I hope to see you there.
Welcome back to the story. We just have spent a tremendous 30 minutes having a chat with our District 67 Pathways chair. Yes,
Yay.
Patsy Wu. She's come all the way to Taiwan from Calgary, Canada.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful to have you
Yeah.
here and to be sharing. The first half was great. I think our second half.
It's going to be awesome, and we want to start out with asking you. You are the Pathways chair for District 67, and I've heard you've done a lot of Pathways workshops, and you've got a lot of Pathways workshops coming up in the future. Would you like just to share a little bit about those workshops? What do they entail, and what are your plans for them? What do you envisage for those workshops?
Yep. Okay. I remember in July when Joe was just doing all the officer training.
Oh, man.
You were doing all the office training. Good for you. I was in Turkey at the time. Yeah.
You know, he actually helped me a lot. He gave me this opportunity to do a short video, 1 minute. That's how I present my pathway announcement. Remember?
Wow.
Oh, and she had this amazing slogan. Do you remember? You're like,
Pathways on the way.
Pathways on the way.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I know. That was filming in Calgary, my backyard. You know.
Wait.
How am I? Yeah,
that was your backyard?
that's right.
Your backyard's awesome.
Oh, thank you. That was the thinking. Why
We're going to have to put that short in this video.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and Joe, you say, "Oh, that's Pathway on the way." It's a great slogan. Do you know how that came from?
Where?
What? in Calgary, there was something at my favorite store, a restaurant called Chicken on the Way.
Is that
Kidding. I mean, Chicken on the Way.
Pathways on the way.
Pathways on the way. We're not. It's so popular. You know, they got
Actually,
the
Pathways
great
on the way
chicken.
sounds better than chicken on the way because it kind of like rhymes, like way.
so? You have no idea, and you weren't at the club officer training because you were, of course, in Canada at the time making all these wonderful videos. But Paul, there were hundreds of officers just chanting "Pathways on the way" because she said it during the
Pathways
video,
on the way.
Beautiful. So, can you tell us a little bit about what you have coming up in the future, the next couple of months, in terms of projects?
In that video, as a matter of fact, I made a promise.
Yes.
All the members in District 67 say all our new members will have the opportunity to attend online training every month.
Oh.
I kept my promise. So every month there is a base camp training or DTM interview. And even we just had a panel discussion yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we invited 3 panelists, Mike Honda, DTM Mike Honda, and
know
also
Mike.
another Pathway Lee from District 51, Malaysia. And she also helped me out. And Hannah Chan.
Oh.
Right. And with my evaluator, Simone Nash. That was just a project, how that roll out nicely. So that was also part of the training.
Speaking of Simone Nash, by the way, did
Yeah.
you see?
Yeah.
What?
She's the first one in District 67
Oh.
to finish all 10 pathways.
Yeah.
She finished all the different paths.
Exactly. 11 of them
Oh,
on
11.
September 25th.
Yeah, she's the first one in District 67 to. Well done,
Well done,
Simone. Whoa!
Simone watches/listens to these while taking care of her cat.
Yeah.
She's going to be happy to hear
Yeah.
this.
Simone, thanks for leading the way. We're proud of you.
Thanks for taking care of all those cats.
Yeah.
Oh.
But wow, that's great. In these
Yeah.
workshops,
Right.
I know sometimes my schedule's conflicted, so I haven't joined them necessarily, but the lineups just sound fantastic.
They
Yeah,
do.
we always do recording, also release our recordings. So that is, I believe, the power of internet, as a matter of
Sure.
fact. So for the upcoming months, as a matter of fact, a little bit challenging because, the upgrading of
Right.
LMS. So there will be more trainings coming up. I have to train our project managers first. And then the next phase that will be launching to all the clubs.
I do want to compliment you
Oh, wow.
because recently I attended a workshop given by DTM Neil Stovacek,
Oh.
who's a member of Taipei Metro, former Division M director. And his famous slogan is, "Remember the member." And Neil Stovacek, in the workshop, he was talking about how leaders, the workshop was leading in difficult times. That was the workshop was about. And he said, what do leaders do? They communicate the mission and set the tone daily. And I think that's something that you've done very well with Pathways in our VPE Presidents group online. You communicate the mission and you set the tone daily, especially during this time where we are going to have a pathway shutdown. You keep on communicating, making videos,
Yeah.
encouraging people to get on board with this, get prepared, get ready. And I think that, if anybody complains, they were sleeping. From your perspective, from your side, you've done an incredible job in communicating the mission and setting the tone for this crisis. I wouldn't say crisis, but for this disruption that we're going to go through. You've done fantastic, and I just do want to compliment you for that. I think you've done a fantastic job in communicating that. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
As a president, I had no idea, and then I started seeing all these messages from
Yes.
you daily. I'm like, maybe this is important. Joe, what's this about? Paul, it's important.
It's important. No, you've done a really wonderful
yeah.
job.
So thank you.
Now, we're also looking for a little bit more advice because Paul and I have a problem, Patsy.
Yeah, we have a big
Kind of
problem. Patsy,
problem?
yeah.
Okay, both of us, we've done 2 levels. We're on 2 paths.
Yeah.
Okay.
And currently, we got through levels 1, 2, and 3
Yeah, that's
pretty
pretty easy.
easily. But We've got what's our problem, Paul?
Well, level 4 and 5 are really difficult projects. This podcast is a level 4 project that's been going for like 10 months now.
It's been going much longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, we thought it'd be done by June. We're already in like in October. It's still going.
Yeah.
And the question we have for you is like, how can we guide our members when they get to the longer projects in level 4 and level 5? How can we guide them and how can we suggest? And actually, maybe even how can we encourage them to start doing the projects before they actually arrive at the level?
Right, like getting started early.
Yeah, what suggestion you would give us to help them?
You know one thing about pathway, the benefit of that is you can do that anywhere, anytime, and also you don't need to really follow the sequence whenever you have. And for example, if someone has to organize an outing, hey, that's a team building, right? Even you're level 2, just step 2 into it. You skip your level, but you have to, of course, and go back to the level which you have not completed. So it takes time. Sometimes, yes, I agree with you. And for example, for my experiences, I did the first pass about what's it called lesson learn. Okay, lesson learn. Actually, 2 speeches. Right?
Oh, right.
The first and the second. I did not even do the second speech. I actually finished up with a 5 to 7 minutes speech, which is something my contest speech. Okay?
Oh,
But the evaluator then she told me, I don't understand why you're not following the project you passed. That's the first pass that somebody told me. Then I learned, okay, I can't just do plugging. Yeah. So the pathway really has a meaning for a leadership development. So that's how then the second pass I did something different. Then I organized my online training. At the time I was a VPE, so I did an announcement, and also then I even did a little bit of filming afterwards, and having them to give me a feedback and put on the presentation. This is how they said, to say thank you, Yeah, so take opportunity, just build awareness about what is happening in your life. 工作生活 right. It's a learning experience.
Work
it
as
your
life.
life.
工作生活家.
And then there's a lizard. But
It's a lizard or a frog?
is it a frog?
I don't know.
Wait, do we lift the camera? Paul, pick up the camera. Lift.
There it is there, yeah.
What do you think, audience?
工作生活家 frog or lizard?
Maybe. You can vote. Let us know in the comments if you think it's a frog or a
exactly,
lizard.
yeah, okay.
Nice camera work, Paul. But
Thank
I
you.
really like what you're talking about. One is you can start early. So
Yeah,
I
sure.
could tell a new member, maybe let them focus on level 1, but when they get to level 2, hey, do you want to do a podcast? Do you want to do social media?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
flexible.
the other thing I'm hearing is always be looking for the next opportunity. Like if, TGIF and Born to Shine, we have big outings. Like we have an outing in November, like a whole day thing.
Yeah. Well, that'll be an HPL project.
HPL, yep. And that's part of Pathways now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it sounds like...
And also a Christmas party.
Yeah, lots of big events. And so based on what I'm hearing from you, we should tell our members, hey, this is your chance to do a Pathways project.
Exactly. Team building, for example.
Because yesterday we had an outing to a gym.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look how
Kelly's Gym, Anytime Fitness. Please visit.
there's like a logo here or something.
Yeah. We need the logo for Anytime Fitness, not the story. Yeah.
I thought you looked really ripped today.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, but like we try, like in our clubs, we try to do regular outings and activities to build community. And so that's fantastic, like to actually say, we're doing the outings. This can be a Pathways project for team building. Look at it, get in it, see what's required of it. And so that's very helpful for us. So we can actually encourage people to take control of those projects. And, collectively both clubs got like 55 members or somewhere around there. So, if we get those people involved, we've got plenty of people to organize activities for the rest of the year.
That's great. Also, they earn their credit.
Yes,
right,
exactly.
on the
Yeah,
password.
yeah,
And
so-
the club earns the credit as well.
Sure. Yeah, we try our best.
Right.
We've gotten so good at getting answers from you. You've already covered my next one, any best practices for getting the most out of a path. I feel like you've started to kind of answer that. At this point, how many paths have you done?
3.
Three.
And she's working on 3 rounds.
Okay. My first pass was just a very popular one, like 80 or 70% members would choose presentation mastery.
Okay.
And then my second pass is hey, persuasive influence. It seems like interesting.
You seem to have done that one very well. You're very persuasive.
Yeah.
But when I say but, it means that I really knock out when I start engaging humor because I am a serious learner. I'm not a funny person. You know, I remember there was one speech in the engaging humor, and there was a speech, probably longer. It's a speech about the humor, make your speech more humorous. So I remember I was in China Club and delivered that speech.
I should say,
right.
China Club is in Taipei.
Oh, yeah. China in Taipei.
So I'm sure there might be a China club in China too.
Maybe there's a China Club in China, but we're talking about
China Club Taipei.
Taipei.
Yeah, okay, that's about, exactly. Thank you for mentioning that. I remember that I tried to be funny, and nobody really laughed or smiled.
Oh, no.
I know. And then I posed. I was waiting for some reactions. They are very cool. Very cool, as a matter of fact. And as I stood there, and eventually I said something. I said, please, this project is supposed to be funny and the humor. It seems like I'm not going to be humor. Nobody do any reaction. Nobody laugh.
Okay. I need to make you feel better about this.
Yeah.
We have one of the funniest members in our club is a guy called Eric Ma. He's currently the president of Born and Shine. Yeah, you know Eric, yeah. He's a super funny guy. And a couple of years ago when Joe was in Japan, I think, or were you in Taiwan?
No, I was in. Is this about the Moth Joke?
Yeah.
I was in Japan.
No. And so Eric was like engaging humor.
Engaging humor.
And he got up and he gave this 7-minute speech called the Moth Joke.
Uh-huh.
You got to go watch it. Nobody laughed.
No one laughed.
Really? Well, he tried.
But the thing
hard.
is, no. The thing is, it was deliberate.
He did this very, I guess, dry.
Yeah, it was a dry.
Nobody understood. Right?
Nobody understood.
Dry humor.
And then, but what was even funnier was the evaluator at the time was the former president of Born and Shine, Douglas Gilmartin, and he got up and he gave one of the funniest evaluations of all time. And I remember he started. I need to do a speech to tell people why this speech wasn't funny.
Yeah.
We will send you a link to the Moth Joke, and we are going to put that in the show notes too.
Yes. So
sorry, Eric, you get called on this so many times. It's one of like the iconic stories of our club.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
so
quite
don't feel
legendary.
too bad. Yeah. So don't feel too bad.
So right now you're on engaging humor.
No, then I finished.
Oh, that you finished.
Now I am on another 3: motivation strategy and strategic relationship. And also I bought a old pad. It's going to be old pad. It's called leadership development. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just want to test out. Right.
See, this is what makes a chair. She's actually testing paths. Like Paul and I just pick paths and we're like, oh, we'll get to them eventually. But you seem to have really gotten a good sense of what's inside all of these different paths.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, the thing that also about pathways, maybe I can speak a little bit about that as well. The thing that frustrates me about pathways, to be honest, and sorry once again to put you on the spot, is that like level 1 and level 2 for every path is almost the same. It's like icebreaker, body lane, it's like that for me, and level 2, it's like, understanding your communication style, understanding your leadership style, Toastmasters mentoring. Like if you do 10 speeches on that, like, okay, I have one leadership style. I have one communication style. Like I've communicated the same way for as long as I've been alive, which, if you're wondering, is 53 years. And so I don't quite know how to navigate that. And this is a common complaint. Like the paths are so similar. An icebreaker, you can tell, an icebreaker speech is not your whole life. You can tell different parts of your life.
Yes.
On the old system, as I said, like the communicator, it was more like your second speech was organize your speech. That could be any topic.
Yep.
But like level 2 here is very specific. Communication style, leadership style, Toastmasters mentoring. Like it's really hard for me. Like on the third speech, like, okay, now what can I talk about leadership style? How do you approach that? If you're doing 10 paths or like 15 paths or how many paths there are, and then talking about different leadership style, like how do you approach that for yourself?
Paul, I agree with you 100% because I don't believe those assessment, DISC, you're a tiger, you're a peacock influence, or you're analytical, and it's put a sticker on your head. You say, oh, okay.
Like, this is my style.
That's right. So I personally do not like that particular project, but I have to finish up that project, right? But I do my own assessment on a particular, yes.
But just like, what's your approach to it?
Yeah.
How do you, because that's the thing, like as a VP, I really struggle with members being like, this is my second path. I have to talk about my leadership style again. What do I tell them so that they feel excited to do it again? What can they do to make it interesting for them?
Well, all the leadership or mentoring, as a matter of fact, in Toastmaster, when you're doing those different paths, you might have the different projects. But I would say we all the leaders, right? You, as being a leader, you're a leader in me. Then there are a lot of things every day is happening. The leader can be a family situation, how you're leading, solving the problem, or it's something that happening in the club, or it's something that simply just happening at work. And every scenario, if I would say pathway is a learning experience. It's like a 生活. Every day, you really think about how I become a leader myself. Leading, being proactive. There was a lot of things to talk about it.
So your advice, it sounds like, to Joe and Paul, because I know I'm saying as VP, what can I tell my members? But really, what can I tell ourselves?
Yeah, please do.
Exactly.
It sounds like we should be sharing about different scenarios.
Yes.
Of that leadership and what that reflects about our style. So maybe last year, Paul couldn't talk about being TGIF president during this term, but next time he starts his third or fourth path, when he gets to that, here's this other leadership story.
But Joe, like, once again, like, the specific project is know your leadership style, understand your communication style. I mean, for years, like if I go back 25 years and I think about tell friends about me, it's like, Paul's a direct communicator. He's not subtle. He speaks his mind. He says exactly, like, there's no, if you know me, you know exactly what's on my mind. I have no secrets. I don't hide. I say exactly what I want to say. That style, I can tell different stories about that.
Yeah.
But it's the same style. Like, why do I need to continue to understand my communication style or my leadership style? Like, I can maybe try and change it, but I don't think I am. Now, maybe that's too proud. Maybe that's too arrogant. But I'm not the only one saying this, because, as I say, when I go on those Facebook groups, they all have the same kind of like, we've repeated this story over and over again, this thing over and over again. So, like, that's the thing where, generally we, as people, we have one style of communication, one style of leadership. How do we vary that? And I hear what you're saying. I just tell different stories or different scenarios about that. But I don't quite think it's hitting what that's about.
I think that's a good point, and maybe
I'm wrong.
Maybe as Pathways chair, it's a good conversation to have with all the higher ups.
Could be, yeah. I know you can't answer the question, why it's there, yeah.
I just realized every time when I do different assessment on the level 2, I am kind of surprised, but I will plug in. So, okay, my assessment, this one is direct, okay? So my priority is direct, for example. So, then I think about, this assessment, I must be doing this scenario, thinking about a story that's how my assessment came out, this direct result to be the first, or coaching to be the first.
Sure.
I will have a a speech over that. Well, think about that area. And also, let me add mentoring. I think that is something very interesting. You have 1 or 2 mentors. How many mentors do you have?
I've had 2 main mentors. You're looking at one of them right here.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's why your VPE is a president.
That's right.
All right. Okay, it's one of the reasons.
Not quite, but yes. Okay.
Right. Oh, okay. When you do the mentoring, you have so many different paths. Then each time, actually, I do different mentors. And the very last pass is as no mentor, I like to say, hey, how about silent mentors? Yeah, those people actually mentoring you without being
your mentor.
You know what I'm saying? Then I start to deliver speech on who are my silent mentors. Yeah, be flexible.
Yeah, I certainly can feel mentor. I find to be a very flexible one.
Yeah, like communication style, leadership style.
Yeah, that's hard for me because my last time doing the mentorship one, I talked about this couple that mentored my wife and I.
I remember the name of the speech.
Yeah.
Even marriage needs a mentor.
Even a marriage needs a mentor.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen.
But so there are definitely challenges with pathways, and I think this is a good conversation. And I hope pathways is something that continues to evolve as more people use it. Certainly.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, I feel like there are lots of other questions that we can.
There's so many.
There's so many.
But we got to get to the end.
We eventually have to let you go, I suppose. You're a very busy woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I think we've already talked a lot about the value of pathways and what we can get out of it. I don't know if we need to continue to look into like non-members.
No, we already discussed it earlier.
Yeah.
Talking about the hotel training.
The hotel training. So I think we've got you there. But Paul and I, we like to dig deep.
Very deep.
And so we want to know,
Yes.
how do you want to grow and develop from here? What do you
yourself, your personal growth goals?
It could be Toastmasters. It could be outside Toastmasters. This is like a big table topics. And because we like to know from the people we interview, where do you want to be next year, 5 years from now? And then you have this video as like reference.
Funny.
Yeah.
It sounds like a job interview. I used to ask them the same question.
We don't have our job interview.
Those questions are ridiculous. You know, and because I used to interview someone. So how would you a hotel intern?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So how would you like to do 5 years? So 5 years, I want to be a general manager. And
Well, I think
I would say that was aggressive, but I respect that answer. I respect that it shows a vision that of that individual. It maybe take 10 years of becoming a general manager in the hotel, but he said his goal. All right?
For us, it's like we believe in lifelong learning and Toastmasters, and we believe that people of any age, like Jude Way, for example, like 80 years old, learns how to use Basecamp before us, you know? And so we, Toastmaster organization, their main slogan is lifelong learning. I love the Chinese in the Huo Da Lao, Xue Da Lao.
Yeah.
Lifelong learning, this idea of lifelong learning. And if you are spending time doing lifelong learning, we should have some learning goals or goals that we want to achieve, And Joe and I certainly have those goals. Like this podcast, like learning how to do podcasts, learning how to do interviews is one of those goals, one of those learnings.
Yeah.
So we're just curious about you, like for yourself, like Pathways is a good system. You've already sold the value. You've already said it's a great system. How do you hope to grow with Pathways in the coming year or 2 years, yourself personally?
It's kind of a serious question. I only achieve short term. It's Joe, I did not give you my plan for the next year.
Sure.
Remember?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, because I told you I have to evaluate in November. Even I have to ask all the division directors whether I've been doing right, whether anything will have to do adjustment for the upcoming term. So that is how the pathway is going. Every quarterly, I do a little bit of evaluation.
Sure.
But talking about my personal goal, I don't have personal goal. Believe me or not, I don't.
I believe
don't. Yeah.
But I think that you'll continue. Okay, so Patsy and I are on the same program
Sure.
quality team.
Sure.
We're
Yes.
teammates.
Oh,
Yes.
you should be on the sofa then.
Oh, I'll go on the sofa. I'll just take my But
What are you doing on this side?
but I think what I expect to see over the next couple
Mm.
of months is you continuing to build out pathways and getting these workshops going.
Yeah,
getting
sure.
them bigger and generating more
Definitely.
excitement. So
Definitely.
I look forward to it. I see a vision of you in the future. But
Me too.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful 1 hour.
And it's been so good to be
Yes.
able to share and to listen to you.
Yeah, and just thank you so much for coming on such short notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank you so
This is
much.
wonderful
It
to
was
have you with
wonderful.
us and sharing all your thoughts and ideas, and it's just really good to get someone who knows about pathways and knows
Yeah.
what pathways is to come and actually share on the story.
Right. And so for our TGIF and Born to Shine members, this is your opportunity. We've got an expert, the pro here. And so
So
we
get on it.
get on it, and we're going to get on it too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Patsy.
Thank you, Patsy.
Thank you. Thanks.
Today, we had a wonderful conversation with Patsy Wu, covering all these different aspects of pathways. And what I love the most is just the enthusiasm and about taking the opportunities to try different things and to just go and jump in with pathways. There's a lot to learn. And from Patsy, I think we learned that there are lots of opportunities in life where you can take those life experiences, plug them into pathways, and just grow and experience all that Pathways has to offer. And so for all of you who are out there watching, listening, wherever you are, and if you're a Toastmaster, get involved with Pathways, try it out. All right, now, we've talked about Pathways enough. There's one thing, though, I need to remind you. We are built on love and born to shine. Cheers.